Hello, and welcome to Let's Talk Real Estate, the podcast where we dive deep into the world of real estate investing and the Your host, Brandon got offended. Ted Sithop, their mobile home park operator. Carlos is out in the event space. Again, I don't know where in the United States he is, but he is somewhere. So if you're going to an event this weekend, look for him. He might be there wearing an orange shirt for Carrot. Let's go, sir.
He doesn't have carrots, and if he doesn't have carrots and dip it there, just tell him he's failed once again. Tell you what, I'm gonna personally get on the call with Trevor and tell him that he's absolutely failed at the marketing ploy without carrots and dip at each one of his tables.
There are other people in charge of the events. That's what happens when you have a big organization.
Yeah, right. He has final say, bro. If he was on top of it, he'd be like,
I think he's actually going to this event because I think
and you know what? If I went to one of my events and my name was Carrot and I roll up to a table and I'm like, where the fuck are my carrots at, bro? Like,
oh god,
your table would be the hottest table in the entire event. Free food. Think about it. You're there all day with nothing to eat, and all of a sudden the carrot table's bringing fucking carrot and dip. And who doesn't like carrots? It's healthy. Put some blue cheese and ranch. It's tasty. Even everyone.
I think everybody that watches our podcast regularly is getting tired of you talking about the dips that you would have with carrots.
I'm gonna talk about it until you do it, and somebody sends me a freaking photo of it.
Oh god.
Phil, John, you need to bring it up at the next meeting. Take it as your idea. You'd be like, hey, listen.
We should be putting carrots and dip at these tables.
It is literally a no-brainer, and it boggles my mind that Carlos keeps going to these events and he hasn't done it. Is he there today?
I think he's flying today.
All right, guys, don't worry about this. I'm gonna put Carlos on this.
You're texting him right now, like get some dip.
Buy a bag of baby. It got to be baby carrots. Nobody wants the full.
Oh no, he is there. He flew yesterday. All right.
There we go. It is now done. We will see if Carlos lives up to it.
So, economy things happened this week. I know earlier in the week we were talking about foreclosure rates, and it was funny. I couldn't attend our pre-show meeting. I had just read an article that said foreclosure rates are getting close to pre-pandemic levels, if I remember correctly.
Recession levels. Yeah,
recession levels. But the person who was commenting was like, this is not a 2008 level housing crisis. But I know you guys talked about it. So what are you, and you said people are talking about it?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some articles talking about behind on payments at levels of 2007.
Oh, really? You are seeing that?
Yeah, Polk County has the highest foreclosure rate.
Of the entire nation?
Yeah, and apparently. I listen, dude, I am always wary of stats because stats can be manipulated in any way you want to change your sample, your population. Like there is
inflation,
no rules.
Unemployment.
Yeah. so stats don't mean much to me. It's what I'm seeing, and it's like I haven't been looking at the real estate market in a while because I've just been so focused on parks, right? Just like zoned in on that and the marketing and capital raising. And then I took my daughters around, like we were just out for a drive around that lake I always talk about, the high end area. And dude, I was like, and me and my wife haven't talked about moving, buying a new house for months and months, which is a huge topic in this house. And I'm driving by, I'm like, this house is for sale. I said, all these homes, and they're all, it's hard to explain how I know, but it's all old people, right? Like, you know these homes in the area because they've been in when you're in that type of area in a certain town, generally the original.
So is that foreclosure though? Or is that just people wanting to sell?
People wanting to sell, get out of homes. Now's the time. Like I think people are understanding Trump's in office. I truly think there's more activity on the market now. And what I was getting at before you said that was my wife, my mom, me, and a friend that I sent it to, right? I sent it to everyone. They all said the same thing. Wow, that's really cheap. And I was
Oh,
like, I
the
know.
home prices on the
Yeah,
lake. Yeah.
so because prior to me, just like again, it was like straight months without me ever looking. So from then until now, from 2024, it's probably like around the holidays that I had last looked, all the way till now. I mean, I would have expected this was $899, and
Mhm.
I would have expected it to be $1 million. Like,
Oh wow.
and I'm not saying it's that great of a home. I'm not
Mhm.
saying it's worth $1 million. I don't think it's worth $899. I'm just saying
The price
where
for the
people are
area.
listing things. I'm like, the fact that they listed this 3,000 square, you know what I mean? Like all this, and it's in this area with this lot size. I'm like, that's insane that somebody could be in that area for $899 in today's pricing.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and I started really, and then I saw another one and another one, and I drove down another road. I'm like, dude, I didn't know this home was for sale. Me and my wife had looked at this one before. I'm like, oh, we would buy that. I'm like, honey, this home's for sale too. And so I started to see that, and I was like, man, these pricing, it's not bad. Like they're not unrealistic.
Yeah.
Whereas last year, I still thought everybody was unrealistic.
So you think that they're pricing because people are
I
afraid
think
of the
they're
economy
pricing. I
right
think
now?
they're pricing to move.
Yeah, like they want out or whatever,
They want out, dude. I
and
think
they want whatever equity they can get. I mean, if they're older people and they've been there forever, I'm sure they're gonna walk away with
yeah.
a good sum.
Oh, they probably bought it for $1. They probably built it out of a Sears catalog.
The Sears catalogs allow you to build homes.
Yeah, back in the day.
Really?
Sometimes I wonder if my house was a Sears catalog house because it's
I've
like
never. I mean,
yeah.
I've looked at some Sears catalogs back in my day, but
No, I mean this was I don't know when they stopped, but like there was a house I flipped or wholesale. I can't remember at this point. It's been so many years. But the guy was telling me it was a catalog home. And I was
so
like,
you would
no,
buy like a room and
no, you buy in like a 2-story, 2,000 square
the whole
foot,
house was just
and
there.
no, they would send you all the, and they're starting to do it in today's economy too, just not Sears, but they send you everything, all the lumber, the roofing, everything that you need. They send it, and it would be like what a man can build this for his family, his own house, and so you would buy it out of the catalog. And I've seen posts about this, but yeah, there was one guy, I forget how this came. It was like a 10, 15 years ago, and he was telling me all about it. And that's how I first learned about catalog houses in my. And he was explaining it. He had like all the old paperwork, and he was showing me. I was like, "Holy shit, dude! Like, your so and so built this? Like, it wasn't him."
How much did a Sears catalog house cost back in the day?
I don't know off the top of my head, but it would probably shock us.
Yes, it probably.
Well, I don't know what, like $2,000. Who knows what it was?
Nah, I mean, I would imagine all the lumber and everything. At least 15, 20.
Nah, I don't know. I don't actually know. I mean, we're talking. I think they were in vogue between the 20s and 50s, probably.
Okay, so maybe you're right with $2,000.
Yeah, I know. It's like you were a millionaire back then. But so I do see that happening, man. I don't know, and the mobile home park stuff. It's like, what do I see? I think people are still unrealistic about some stuff there. I see some crazy pricing. So,
the prices of a mobile home park. I thought you were talking about tenants.
Commercial always comes in after residential, but yeah, dude. I think. What are your thoughts?
I think we're in for something. I hope a little bit of a reset with pricing. That would be nice.
Like, I don't think people understand, like, one, it's planned. Two, whether you agree with Trump or not, like what he's going to do most likely will work. There's just no timing of it. I mean, yeah, all these people are like, oh, we're going to invest in the country. That's not happening overnight. That's not like the UAE's like, oh, we're going to do $100 billion. And then tomorrow, like a factory is built. Like you're talking years of all of that until it actually goes in. And so we might not even, I think it's very misleading when they say that, because especially if Vance doesn't win the next term, when you think just because they promise today, if they're still in the works of breaking ground and all that, you don't think if like a Biden administration comes in and changes things, they're not going to
tariffs, and it's cheaper to go make it in Mexico again.
Yeah, they'll pull the rest of their investments. So yeah, that may be the total that they're going to spend over the life of building a factory or whatever it is. Doesn't mean we're ever going to see that if things don't keep going in the Republicans' direction. You know what I mean? So I think it's very misleading when they say that. But, I mean, I think it's all planned. It's like,
I did listen to a centralist, central right economist talk about stuff, and I agreed with some of the things that he was talking about. I think he had a pretty interesting perspective
Like
on
what?
it. Just like what like happens when all of your manufacturing moves out, and like what we're uh covering with allies, and they were talking about like the Germany's call to kind of rearm a little
Yeah, I
bit.
love this. I'm like, yeah, I can't wait. Okay, Germany. Okay, dude.
It was interesting. I mean, it does make sense, and he was talking about it from a historical perspective. Um, that it's hard to get. Uh, you have to. I find it like I would love a place where like there's one topic, and then you get like four perspective, maybe five perspectives, like FARs,
Yes.
like centralists, and in the middle. I would love to hear like five perspectives on the same topic, because that's what I'm trying to do. Is like I would love to, because
Yeah,
I would
you
love
have
to
to.
get
You
multiple
have to.
opinions on this stuff, and it's
You
like
have
some
to.
of it is like woo.
Yeah, but you listen though. You
Yeah,
listen, and then maybe you shut it off halfway through. You're like, this person's crazy. But I always tell my kids. I was telling my son, and I tell my daughter, and it's like a true intelligent person has to be open to
yeah,
listening to somebody else's view. Doesn't mean you change your view. It just means you either strengthen it or you decide your view is on shakier ground and you need to get a better understanding. I was like, you need to. I was like, Brian, sometimes I listen to shit I don't agree with just to either reinforce my belief or be like,
right.
something has changed.
Yes.
But like, no matter what, I was thinking about this analogy. It's like, if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? And so that's a two-part thing for me. It's like, one, you have to break something to warrant fixing it, right? And that's what I think's happening. Like, we're breaking the system, and the market's down 3,000 points between yesterday and today. It's crazy, and I hope it keeps going. But at the same point, regardless of your argument with tariffs, what you believe or they believe, we have tried everything else. Okay, we are going in to, like, at a certain point, we just cease to exist as a financial functioning nation at our current debt levels. And sometimes, like, when you think about it, even as a business owner, you're like, I don't have a choice but to try this. It may not work, and the naysayers may be right, but I know if I do nothing or the same thing, I
Right.
don't change my direction. So I think that's where logic gets me, is like, you don't know. So like, tariffs are more complex than what people talk about. And they say tariffs go in, prices go up. And that's true. That's a very basic understanding of tariffs. Tariffs can play out in many different ways. But what
Yeah.
we do know is we don't know what way they're going to play out. Every country and every company within each country has a choice of what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Right? And we don't know. But again, if you revert back to that statement saying, we've tried other things, we've tried it their way, and we still keep going into at this point, like, what do we got to lose at 36 trillion and like another 6 trillion getting added on? Like, what do you got to lose, bro?
Yeah. No, I agree with that viewpoint. And like we've talked about it a lot here. I
Yeah.
think some definitely things need to be shaken up. Like you can't keep treading down the same path and hoping for different
Yeah.
results. I think it will be interesting to watch what happens. I read some articles about people talking about like how like one of the biggest things talked about is like bring manufacturing back, and people are like, listen, like the last time tariffs were used to help manufacturing, the type of manufacturing we do today is completely different than what it was back then. And it's not going to have like, yeah, it'd be great to be able to build it here, like have the manufacturing here, and that's a plus, but it's not going to bring like the jobs back that used to, like a factory would have 10,000 people in it, and
Obviously.
now they're 200 people could
But
run
it's
the
not
factory.
just, but again, it's not just factories, right? It's the people who build the factories, it's the people who work at the factories, it's the truck drivers to and from the factories, it's the mailman with an extra route that takes longer. They got all these things, right? But like, yeah, you're right. And at the same point, things, no matter what, it costs more to make something in America. But my argument with people is, it's what we say as wholesalers all the time. People don't make a decision on price, they make a decision on value. All the time, I decide whether to buy something that's a cheaper product or a more expensive product, depending on the value.
But
And
I
And
get that.
That's not true for every product, but at the same point,
Or every person with the type of income that they have.
it's 100% true. But ideally, if all this happens, again, there's no way to predict what's going to happen.
No,
Some
yeah,
prices
it has
will
to
come
be.
down. Some prices will go up. Some jobs will be helped. There's no, like, even my viewpoint of Trump, go do it. It's not going. One thing I've learned in 40 years, nothing ever goes perfectly. So, like, for people on my side of the fence to argue that this is the only way this is going to work and it's going to work out exactly as we predict, tariffs
Right.
won't raise prices. Well, they will, and they might initially and then drop. Some might, some may go down, but, like, again, we don't have a choice. And if you combine Elon Musk, you combine tariffs, right? You combine cutting of the government, you combine all these things, and you can get us to where we don't need to be taxed other than maybe a flat rate or none at all, and only corporations get taxed at a 15%. And I mean, dude, if you
that would be a lot of resetting to make that, like, you're talking income tax going away, that'd be crazy.
It would be crazy. But again, what could it be done hypothetically? He's got to move super fast. He would have to move. He would have to do everything that he says he's going to do prior to 2026, or I guess 2027, when the new stuff goes into effect. If Republicans lose their power, then he'd have to. So basically, yes, till the end of 2026, right? Yeah. I think it could be done. I think it'd be awesome if it's done. But again, that's like when you plan a business, and like you say, if this happens, then this happens. If this happens, then this happens. So
I'm with you. And I think what's interesting is, like, you have done the research, you like see the light at the end of the tunnel for the party that you support and the president you support. Wouldn't it help if he, like, tried to explain this message to people? Like, honestly, like, consumer sentiment, like, has to be affected in this. And wouldn't it be better if, like,
what I just said? Like that
no,
way?
just, yeah, like, why it's better to buy American, like, this is how prices can go down, like, all of that, versus like, just this is like, this just might be my perspective from, like, what I get flooded in from my channels, right? But I don't feel like there's a lot of explanation going on about, like, how the average person in their day should adjust and what they should look forward to. But I could be wrong.
So that's not where I thought you were going with it. But yeah, I don't think they've talked about the individual, like how to adjust for what's going. But he has straight up said the entire time, it's going to be bad. He's used different terms to say prepare for the worst. It's going to get ugly for a while. Economy's going to go down. I mean, he has prepared people. And has he said, prepare for this, get some chickens, do this, get rid of your debt? No, he hasn't said that. But John, I think to a different point, regardless of the sides, like, I think it's hard to say that the Republicans control the media. And like I watch the news, right? And like I had that shut off for a while and I turned it back on for the last couple of days prior to the tariffs, right? Every piece of news is negative towards tariffs. They're not even trying, like, having
every piece of news is negative in general. I mean,
yeah, but again, they're not saying how tariffs can help. And then you have Kevin O'Leary out there fighting the good fight. But it's like, and so to answer your question is, like, I think even if he tried that,
there's too much other people.
It would get lost in the noise because, like, people, the people who watch those things or care about it, who are watching legacy media, they're watching that stuff. They're not on TikTok too. You know what I mean? Like, you're on Instagram or I'm on TikTok and we're watching guys our age or younger giving their viewpoints, and we're getting an algorithm fed with other viewpoints. So it's different. But I think the majority of the baby boomers and all that, no, I think it would get lost in the noise for them. Plus, Trump, he just loves sound bites, bro. I mean, he's a phenomenal businessman and marketer.
Yeah, I'm thinking about how to make a third term to happen.
Yeah, and now he's distracts you with something else while he does something else.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, then he uses some other titillating thing to get you talking about that. But he's always in. That's how he won the election. He's always talked about. And good or bad, you can't stop talking. I did not talk about Obama this much. You know what I'm saying? We did not talk about Biden this much until like he got crazy, and then we're all like, that dude fell off a bike. He fell up the steps. Like, what the fuck? Is he wearing like a mask? Like, is that even Biden? Like, but Trump, it's like he's always saying wild shit, or someone's saying it for him. Like, Trump never said originally that he was going to abolish the income tax. It was this other guy, forget his name, who was on a talk show who said it. But then you see all the news articles that say Trump is going to do this, and then they interview Trump and ask him, and then he says something soundbite-ish. And it's crazy how like they play the media and how like it all tags along. It's just like a masterclass in things, and then everything gets twisted, and now everyone's like, oh, he's like fucking, he's a fascist, he's a dictator, he's like Putin, he's trying to run a third term, he's gonna rig it. And it's like, that's not what was said. The dude's joking. But if he may be joking, but guaranteed, if somebody actually found a way for that man to do it legally, he would do it.
Oh yeah.
Like he may be joking, but if somebody if every American wrote that dude in on the ballot,
even that's not legal though.
It doesn't matter. He would still do it. I won by a mandate. But you know, and it could be legal actually. Like, I was doing some research into it. There are ways for him to get a third term. Is it possible? Yes. Is it probable? No.
Yeah.
But again, he doesn't make money, or not in this case money, but he doesn't get the attention by saying it's not probable. He just throws it out there and allows you to run rampant with it. So it's possible.
Yeah. So what do you think this means for the housing economy and our?
I think we're all going to tank, dude.
You think? Like tank hard?
I hope so. Listen, so again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? We need to fix it. We've all been saying for a long time, like, what goes up must come down. Pricing is unstable. Like, I'm not trying to like show my age, but back in my day, houses didn't cost this. It's like everything is crazy. And like, I watch more and more things about cars, about trucks, because, you know, I'm in the market. Trucks sitting on lots longer, 2023s. 2023s brand new, still for sale.
Oh, wow.
Right? It's insane, dude. And like, I was watching one guy talk about how to negotiate. And he's like, if they still have a 2023 on the lot, that's not the guy who's going to negotiate, because if he was about moving vehicles, that would have been
gone.
Long gone. He's like a bad salesman. They're essentially, that dealer is trying to stick to the price, and they're losing money, but he's too stubborn to negotiate.
Yeah.
He's like, you want the ones that don't have any old inventory, because they know how to move vehicles, and they'll willingly take a loss to move a vehicle to bring another one in that makes them money. But you tie all those things together: houses, cars, jobs. I mean, you have employees getting laid off, and then you tie into the fact that, like, and I know the numbers Musk are shooting out are totals, not exact dollars. They're like contract totals, right? And it's like, let's just say even 10% of that, or 50%, whatever it is, that's still money that's not sloshing around, right? Like, and when you pull money out of the system, it does the opposite of when you pump money into the system. It stifles it. So yeah, I think things are going. I think he's pressuring the Fed to lower rates, because we have to refinance he's not dumb, dude. He went bankrupt multiple times. And if you read the stories about why he went bankrupt, because he would threaten them. He's like, I need this, my debt instrument or whatever it was at that time. I need you to adjust this. If you don't, take it. And he would sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. And that's essentially what he's doing. I'm crashing the market. You have no choice but to lower the interest rates in order so I can, lower the interest rates to save the economy. And when you do that, then I'll refinance this debt that the country owes China, and I'll owe less of a payment. He lowers the payment, Musk cuts to pieces, he brings in tariffs, all these things. But again, each one of them, if any one of them doesn't play the way he's asking, he's like thinking 10 steps ahead. And if none of it plays out, or one of those things, he's got to go back to the drawing board on how to make it up.
Yeah. Be interesting. I mean, years. Like, don't you feel like this will take years?
I don't think it'll take years to do what he wants to do. I think it'll take years for us to get the results. So
Right.
like he has to do it in the next year. So he has about a year and a half. Musk will probably stay longer. His 130 days, I think that's bullshit. I think he'll stay longer, but he does have like multiple companies to run. But still, man's a machine. But regardless, like Trump, if he wants his legacy to last, he needs to get it done fast enough for the results to get done prior to JD Vance running past the midterm, right? Because the American people, if they don't see the results,
right, and
the
then they
media,
won't.
the Dems, everybody will crush them, like we did Biden, basically. You know what I mean?
Right.
They tried too late to fix things, and we use that to our advantage. And so Trump, and if that happens and the Dems get in, they will literally erase everything Trump did. So it's in his own egotistical, right? It's in his own basis for his legacy to go as quick, which is what we've never seen anyone move this quick. This dude is like lightning fast. Meanwhile, he's distracting you with crazy shit going on and selling shoes. And I want some shoes, dude. Like, I don't know. But like Trump coin and shit, and he's just distracting. So I think it's, I don't know. If the tariffs work, he's already put the tariffs in. Elon Musk is cutting things. We're going to, I mean, dude, if what's true about Social Security, that'll be huge. Like all these about the dead people getting Social Security, all the people, the billions.
Has that been debunked like 7 times right now?
100% not debunked. 100% true. If you go through, so the checks are being cashed. The checks are being cashed. So that money is getting paid out to someone. And like, who? I don't know. Obviously, there's nobody that is alive, but yeah, there's checks getting cashed. That's this whole algorithm system that is being set up, is to find those things. I got an air show happening above me. But if you tie all that together, like he could do it, but when will we feel it? And then let's say he balances it in 2026. You and I wouldn't even see no tax income until 2027, 2020. You know what I mean? Like, and that's cutting it real close to the election. If it takes him another year, we won't see it until after the election, essentially. So it's like, and will we believe him at that point?
Right.
And it's like, oh yeah, you say you're going to do it, and you say you put this bill into effect, but like, hey, we haven't seen 1 year of tax freedom. Personally, I don't think we should be taxed. I think it's absurd that we're taxed on property. I think it's absurd. I think
food.
We should. I think we should use. I don't know why we don't use local sales taxes to pay for our roads and all the things and property taxes. They literally just repaved a perfectly good road in front of my fucking house. They literally pulled up a road and paved it again. And me and like the pool guy were talking like there was not one pipe. I run and walk.
I have it here too. I'm like, this road is fine. That road over there is not okay.
Because it's just like the federal budget, right? Like when you get the money, you have to spend the money,
right.
Or else they take the money away.
Yeah.
And it's like, so I do think, and then the argument is, well, if we do sales tax, you're punishing the people who don't own the property. Well, that sucks for you, bro. But right now, the people being punished are the ones who do own the property. So maybe you should go buy a fucking house, bro. Maybe you should buy a fucking house. But the fact is, you shouldn't. And what bothers me is like, you shouldn't take my house after I haven't paid it. Like I should own my house. I mean, that boggles my mind that if I own my house and I don't pay taxes afterwards, you could take my fucking house for $6,000 of back owed taxes. You could take a $500,000 house for $6,000. Like that just
would make sense.
It's like an HOA taking like a house for like a $50 unpaid HOA bill. It's like, so I don't know, all these things. I think even you and I agree that those things should happen.
For sure.
It'd be nice to see it, but I think everybody thinks those things should happen. But I think to be a party loyalist and to hate Trump, you have to not want those things. What boggles my mind is I think every American can be brought together by a few things in life.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why? Like, I would like to see more of that right now.
Why are they fighting it so hard when we say we don't need to pay taxes and we want to see what you spend our tax money on? You would think that would be like the 9/11 of the financial thing, right? Like the one thing that everybody party agnostic agrees on, right? Like, yeah, And I go to what Musk said. He's like, it's because you're getting close to the fraud. And I
True.
was watching this movie, and I told my wife, I was like, so it was like a CIA spy, one of those things, president, protect the president, and all these things.
Okay. Yeah.
And like the whole point of it was there was this underground thing, and it was like, well, how does nobody know about this? Because there was a mall. It wasn't known because it was paid for out of a different fund within a different department that funds these covert military underground CIA base op, whatever you want to call it, right? And I was like, that's probably true. Like USAID, all these things that Musk is cutting, they're probably pissed because somebody's got to pay for that safe house over there, and it's not coming from a budget under the CIA line item that says safe houses, right? Like it's not like wouldn't be that safe. It's gonna come from like transgender mice line item or some shit.
Research, yeah.
Yeah, right. And I get that. And I had read an article previously, this was years ago, where people had said one of the things about Trump, what makes them fear the most is over 100 years of like the world working in this global manner of how we are today, ever since the end of the world wars, is there are so many intertwined things between different governments and agreements and deals and money and all of this stuff that funnels through the Fed system.
Mm-hmm.
And the legacy politicians all understand that. But somebody like Trump coming in will sledgehammer it all, not knowing the things that he's damaging and the relationships that have been built in the. And again, they were very honest, like the money being sent for this and that, and why it's being sent, and what deal was made because it was sent.
Yeah,
I get that, like, and that really sucks. But sometimes, in order to fix something, you have to break it all the way down to its bare parts and build it back.
It's gonna be an interesting ride.
Yeah, dude. I mean, who knows? But it's not gonna hurt people like us.
True.
So,
hopefully.
No, I don't. I mean, it'll obviously hurt some people holding property and stuff like that, but I really don't think. I mean, you make more money in a down market than you do in an up market, personally.
Right.
So I think a lot of real estate people are looking for those things. Imagine like some of these guys who bought houses back in 2010 to 2015. I mean, their values on the property 5x, 6x, 10x. I mean, people are hoping that happens again.
Yep. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, dude. So we'll see. But I mean, market's tanking. Let's see what happens. I gotta close
crypto
on a
tanking too. I haven't looked at crypto.
Yes.
It is
tanking for sure. Not tanking, but down.
Like, does it Bitcoin follow like trends that the market does?
Sometimes it depends on what's going on in the market. But yeah, I mean, Bitcoin's down to like last I checked, 80, 81. XRP's around like $2. It just depends. But it was also down previously. Like it was down in the 80s, then it went up to 88 or so. And then the tariff stuff, and it went back down to 80. Like Tesla was down to 240, 220, and then it was up to 270, 280, and now it's down to 240 this morning. So it's like, yeah, things are going to get rocky, and they'll probably keep going, but it doesn't change the value of the company. It doesn't change the underlying. Like all this is just noise because of Trump.
Yeah.
And all of that could be fixed, or it could not be fixed. Depends. It really depends.
Yes, it does.
But yeah, I'm a week away from closing my park.
Yeah.
So
number 4, 5?
4. Yeah, 5. I had to cancel number 5. But yeah, number 4. So get that one. We'll be around 250 lots. It is a process, dude.
I feel like mobile home parks will be a good. You feel like you'll still be able to get the rent investments that your investors are hedging on?
So yeah, I mean, because I'm buying them, so like one park I'm buying them, and like I was the one in Georgia. We bought them, and rents were like $550, $600. Okay. When I ran my things, I was saying $750, $800. Now I'm looking at it, and I'm doing cabinets and floors and all this stuff, and I'm like, I can get $950 for this. Like I was looking it up yesterday. And so when you look at $950 and you say, can I still get that in a down economy? there's nothing else available for nine. I mean, you're talking about a 3-bed, 2-bath,
Oh,
1,200
yeah.
square foot, 2 porches. As long as I do a good job with a nice, clean community.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if you roll in and you got, stuff going on and cars in the yard and trash everywhere, doesn't matter how nice the inside of a home is, it won't have that appeal of a $950 a month. But I mean, we
Right.
fix that. So I'm not worried about it. I've written some articles about it. It's like you go from a home to an apartment, and from apartments to like a mobile home or an RV. So in my one park, we just got a guy who bought an RV from. Sadly, I lost a tenant due to Trump. He had to go back to Mexico. So he sold his RV. Manuel sold his RV, and this guy got it. And he called me, and he was like, "This is a game changer for me." Because I was like, "Yeah." I go, lot rent's $350, water, sewer, trash, and lawn is like another. I think I said whatever it is. I think it's like $90 added on, whatever. You pay for your own water, all this stuff, and so he's gonna be all in for like $450. We'll just say. And he was like, "This is a game changer for me. Honestly, I am so grateful to be living here. Send me the application. I'll fill it out." He's like, because even though he bought an existing home, he still has to qualify.
Oh, yeah. Qualify to be there.
Yeah, like background check, all that stuff. And he was like, "Man, I was coming from an apartment," and he's like, "I'm going to be able to save so much money." And I was like, "Dude," I was like, and he's a younger dude, and I was like, "You're not the only one." I was like,
Oh, yeah.
there is a resurgence of people that we're talking to, like across our parks, that are asking, "Do you accept RVs? Can I come?" Because you could buy these RVs, John. Like I literally have it open on my other screen. I'm looking at like a 34-footer for $16,000.
What?
Oh yeah, I mean,
Pull behind?
oh yeah, dude.
Okay.
Pull behind. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about motorhomes. We're talking about pull behind. Because you could set them up on your lot with your truck, and then you go to work every. You know what I mean? So we typically will have fifth wheels. A lot of fifth wheels parked in our one park.
Why do you prefer fifth wheels?
I don't. They do, because fifth wheels are generally one. It's
and more stable.
They can't. They do get bigger. Like a travel trailer, I don't think ever gets as big as a fifth wheel. Fifth wheels are easier to tow, more stable because they're in the bed, and it's just an easier tow than doing a bumper pull for a travel trailer. But yeah. Typically people long term, they'll have like a 35, 40 footer. You know what I mean? Fifth wheel. We've got guys with smaller ones, little pull behinds, like the RV park that's next to that one I'm closing on. Yeah. There's a bunch of little ones, but then you got like your big fifth wheel. So it's a little mix. Mm-hmm. But dude, it's a thing. And you get a fifth wheel, and you got 2 bedrooms, and you got a living room and a kitchen and 2 bathrooms, and you're paying $450.
Not too shabby.
And if you don't like it,
go somewhere else.
And here's the thing. For maybe a little bit more expensive, let's just use Tampa as an example. Tampa, you want a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, you're spending $2,000.
Oh yeah, easy.
$2,000. Easy to beat downtown Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to an RV lot in Tampa, $700-800 a month. Park your RV there.
Sometimes.
Now you're downtown.
There's downtown RV lots in Tampa?
Not when I say downtown, I mean like Tampa
in the area.
Like, yeah. Where you're versus being out to get that rent, where you're out in like Wesley Chapel or like Lamuna and all those areas down there. But like, I don't know, where are you gonna find that, dude? So I think there's a resurgence of that. Like, if you were a single dude, why wouldn't you? Single girl. Mm-hmm. I follow a bunch of people like that on Instagram, and one guy's like a traveling project manager for a big company, like a nationwide company. He's like 29, him and his dog, RV. He's got a truck. He lives in places for the job, and then they move him to another state, and he picks up his trailer and he drives over, gets another RV park, and stays there and lives there for like 6 months or a year or whatever it is.
It's not too shabby. I know quite a few people that have done that. Now they're back in homes, but
I think as you grow, like family, like, it'd be tough to have kids. I mean, I follow some families that
it wasn't the RV. It was more just like land, like they wanted space. I think the being you can touch the
Yes.
next RV. Was enough for them after a while.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it depends on the park too. You know, like if you're in one of our parks, you're going to get like a typical. It's about the size of like an inner city house lot. Another one's a half acre, but the other one, it's like, so it just depends. But like old people,
Yeah.
limited budget, Social Security, like it's ideal
It's a
for
deal.
some people. It
Yeah.
is, and so I do think it's going to be okay for them, and I think it's a huge market. I think the vacationing RV parks are different, but long-term RV parks are kind of where I like.
I like it.
Anyway, that's where we're at with stuff, man.
Cool.
That's where we're at with the economy today, my opinions.
We'll see what it's like next week. We at the CRM are releasing our new dashboard. Well, it goes, we finished developing it this week, and then we're moving into like 4 months of AI work. So I'm very excited for that. I'll have lots of things to show you guys on here.
Can't wait. Can't wait to see it.
Now I'm going to go do my birthday.
Happy birthday. How old are you?
37. Getting up there in years.
Enjoy it.
I'll try.
37.
All right, sir.
Later,
See you
bye.
next week.
See you next week.